cars are back in Pennsylvania for one of the richest races of the year. Donnie Schatz, Joey Saldana, Steve Kinser, and all the heroes of the toughest sprint car circuit in the land will try to deny Keystone State pilots looking to play the spoiler. It's the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. Next. Lernerville Speedway is ready, albeit a day late, for the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup, one of the biggest World of Outlaw events in the eastern United States. Fans have patiently waited through scattered storms to see the sprint car stars do their thing on a fast and very unique dirt track that lies roughly 25 miles from the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Hello everyone, I'm Bobby Gerald alongside a former track champion here at Lernerville Speedway, Brad Doty. And it seems like history has shown us, Brad, that local knowledge and experience are key here to getting around this racetrack in a hurry. If you look at past winners in World of Outlaws competition here at this racetrack, you find championship caliber drivers like Steve Kinser and Donnie Schatz, and a former track champion in Tim Shaffer, and then Pennsylvania drivers Ed Lynch, Stevie Smith, and Fred Raymer. So why is it that this track calls on that local knowledge a little more than some of the others?
Well, you know, there are certain racetracks all around the country that drivers just go in, they feel comfortable when they go there, their confidence is up. Whether it's psychological or not, I don't know. They just seem to run well there. But here at Lernerville, the drivers have to be versatile. There's two ends of this racetrack. Turns 1 and 2 gets pretty slick. 3 and 4, it's hammered down up on the cushion down at that end. So the driver has to finesse the car through 1 and 2, but the crew chief has to get the car working down in 1 and 2 and also not be too tight in 3 and 4.
Well, there was rain here yesterday, about 3/4 of an inch fell. Will that affect the racing tonight?
Well, not really, because as you know, they always water the dirt racetracks and prepare it anyway. And they've actually added some more water to this track today. The sun is shining right now, so they feel like they added a little more water to it. They think they're ready to go. The racetrack should be in good shape.
Well, really, the only highlight from last night's action was one scary incident in qualifying that involved Jason Myers. Here is the video of what happened to Jason Myers yesterday in qualifying. Brad, take us through it as he heads down the back chute.
Watch the left rear right there. The axle broke on that thing off the banking. Big. You can hear the thud right there, but he's okay.
We talked with Jason earlier in the pits. He is sore from yesterday's crash. A pretty fluky deal.
Well, when you go over that banking right there, as a driver said, he knew he was in trouble when he heard just nothing but silence. That's when you know you're in the air. You're waiting for the hit right there. He's hearing silence. Bam.
Jason has timed in 29th tonight, so not the best time in for the driver of the number 14 machine. Let's take a look at the super clean Summer of Money point standings after 5 of 8 races. This again is just for our television shows. Joey Saldana number 1, Donnie Schatz is number 2. Of course, in the overall grand scheme of things, the World of Outlaws powered by Q points, that's reverse. Schatz is number 1, Saldana's number 2, but several drivers still within striking distance. Kasey Kahne is in the house here tonight. Kasey, of course, owns Joey Saldana's number 9 machine, and Casey's the grand marshal of this event. He'll be up here in the booth, actually, with us later tonight. The third member of our broadcast team, Sean Buckley, caught up with Saldana a little bit earlier.
The Brownsburg Bullet, Joey Saldana, comes in here leading Super Clean Summer of Money Points. Joey, tonight a very, very special night. The boss, Kasey Kahne, in the house for the Don Martin Silver Cup, looking for that first victory. What would it mean to you to win this big event?
It'd be huge to win any World of Outlaw event this year. The competition's so tough, and to win an outlaw race anywhere we go has been really tough. So I don't imagine this race is going to be any different. It's going to pay a lot more money than what we're used to. Donnie Schatz got to win the King's Royal last week, so hopefully we can come out on top tonight.
Donnie's got 10 wins. You have 9. You want to match him with that. I know you and him have quite a point battle. You're only 90 points back.
Yeah, I mean, we just, our problem's been DNFs. Donnie just seems to finish races when he doesn't really have the car good enough to win. He's a really good points racer. He knows how to finish. We seem to get ourselves in trouble when our car's not that good and we get to watch from the sidelines. So hopefully I can learn from that, and if we don't have the car capable of winning, we can at least finish decent enough that he don't kill us too much in the points.
How's the boss Kasey been doing? Has he been jabbing you a little bit to get you going?
Nah, not really. I mean, it's pretty neat. This is his week off, and then for him to come out to the sprint car races is probably, if I had the job that he does, I wouldn't be at the sprint car races right now. I'd be out doing something else, like probably being in Mexico or something. I think that's where he's going Sunday. So hopefully we can put a good show in tonight, and he'll want to come back and watch us a few more times.
All right, the Brownsburg Bullet locked and loaded here at Lernerville, looking for their first Don Martin Silver Cup.
Well, Joey Saldana timed in 5th tonight, and his adversary, Donnie Schatz, timed in 23rd. So far, things looking good right now for Joey Saldana. We'll head to break, and when we come back, the Dash will be out on the racetrack. We've got some great in-car shots for you tonight. That's going to be on board with Jason Solwald. We'll have that one all night long for you, and also on board with Joey Saldana. Don't go anywhere. More of the Super Clean Summer of Money's coming up. The Super Clean Summer of Money is brought to you by Q Motor Oils. Unleash all your horses. Crane Cams, the official valve train of the world of Outlaws. And by Super Clean. Not just clean, super clean. The crowd is big here. They've come back after a rain out last night. They've persevered here to check out the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. Big money, too, $30,000. Don Martin, tell us a little bit more about him, Brad.
Man, the guy was really, when you say promoter, this guy was a promoter. He not only promoted this racetrack, there was his wife, Helen, a team they were, but he promoted the racing, he promoted all of us drivers, everything. I mean, he was way ahead of his time.
A class act, I understand, that helped you out even with some motels in your formative years.
He did. I started racing over here early in my career, and like the second night of towing over here from Ohio, he walked up and said, "Where are you staying?" I think we were sleeping in the van. He said, "Go up to Holiday Inn, have them put it on my account." And I thought I'd hit the big time. I had a promoter paying my motel. That's the kind of stuff he did for the drivers and people in this area.
Don Martin's Lernerville Speedway will always be known as. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from preliminary action here earlier. Our Q Oils quick time went tonight again to Paul McMahon. It's the 5th time this year that he has turned the trick. Brad, what'd he do well?
Well, same thing. He got around her nice and straight, put the horsepower down, put the right rear up on the cushion there, and made some good, smooth laps, and got quick time.
Jimmy Carr, of course, Ricky Warner now a part of that team, so helping that car get around the racetrack very well. Heat race number 1 highlights. Lots of action all night long in this one. At the start, Darren Pittman around the outside is going to lead him down the back straightaway. Some good action here between Joey Saldana and Paul McMahon, your quick qualifier. Those two nearly getting together there. Jack Hodenschild's in the picture, and Terry McCarl's going to sneak in there. They had an excellent battle that entire heat race.
Absolutely, they did. There's see McCarl on the bottom. That's for the transfer spot. Gets by Hodenschild out of turn 2.
Darren Pittman goes on to win this one. Hodenschild ran out of time as he was trying, though, desperately on the last lap. You see him dive into turn number 1, trying to get underneath McMahon. But PMAC was able to hold him off, and Hod's on the outside looking in. He's going to have to come through the last chance showdown tonight. The win went to Darren Pittman over Jason Sides. Joey Saldana finished 3rd in that one, followed by McCarl and McMahon. Heat race number 2. Look at inside of row 2. Tim Shaffer in the red number 6 car, the Kasey's General Store machine. He dives under everybody, shoots in front of Delansky, and came out with the lead on the back.
He got by Deweese down the front straightaway, and you saw there the slider into turn 1 and got by, held on for the lead.
Tim Shaffer talked with us a little bit earlier about performing in front of the hometown crowd. Feels like he really got the monkey off his back in 2005 when he won this race. Now he's able to just come here and relax. He was the easy winner of heat race number 2. We move to heat race number 3. This one had some definite action in it. Steve Kinzer and Lucas Wolf on the front row of this one. Donnie Schatz really did a good job. Did not qualify well and had to get into the top 2 to make the dash.
Really had an amazing run here. Right there, maybe him and Matson get together, but he squeezes by. Good run out of turn 2.
Man, an amazing drive off of turn number 2. Donnie Schatz moving up, and then trouble for Sam Haferteep Jr.
Broken axle. We've seen a couple of those recently. Gets upside down out of turn 2.
Reminiscent of what happened to Jason Myers, and probably Haferteep wouldn't have flipped, but Ellenberger got in there, Brian Ellenberger, and that sent the 15 car up and over. They will make some repairs and get Sam back out later on for the B main. One more look at it.
He's almost stopped. Ellenberger, no place to go, just tags him. But Haferteep is okay.
Well, Sammy Swindell still turning wrenches for Sam Haferteep Jr. Sammy, second on the list only to Steve Kinzer among World of Outlaws feature event winners here at Lernerville Speedway. And there you get a closer look at the damage done to the 15 car. And there is Sammy Swindell, the 3-time World of Outlaws champion, spinning wrenches. In the closing moments, it was Donnie Schatz sliding underneath Lucas Wolf to take away second place, and that's how Schatz made it into the Crane Cams Dash. The King, Steve Kinzer, the winner of heat race number 3 over Schatz, Lucas Wolf, Kerry Madsen, and Chad Kimenall, the transfers. Heat race number 4, the most recently completed heat race, shows action up in front. Brooke Tackle going to put a move on Alan Crimes.
Boy, that was tight. Squeezes in there and gets by. Now that, at that point, put him into the dash.
Brooke Tackle recently swapping around some different chassis, bringing down a chassis that's a couple years old but never used that they had up in the trailer, and it served him well. And then he gets passed, though, by Jason Solwald in the R19 machine.
That was a critical spot, getting into the top 2 to get into the dash.
Out in front, though, it was Stevie Smith, driver who has been a winner in the past here at Lernerville Speedway. He gets the job done in heat race number 4 for the win. Time to check the Mahindra Tractors track facts here at Lernerville Speedway. Brad, tell us about this racetrack where you're a former track champion.
Well, we see the banking is pretty good at 15 degrees, but that red clay is very sticky when it's sticky, but if it slicks off, as we talked in the open, out of turn 2, they can really have trouble getting some forward bite. The guys that get off turn 2 can win the race.
They call it a 4/10, could be expressed as 2/5 as well. Well, it's a pleasure right now to welcome into the booth a driver that you sprint car fans know very well, and that's Kasey Kahne. Kasey, glad to have you up here in the booth with us, and welcome to Lernerville. You're the Grand Marshal here. What, they give you some serious duties for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was Grand Marshal last night. I guess I still am tonight, even though we got rained out. But definitely nice to be here. It's our off week, and looking forward to hopefully a good main event. We're going to do some sprint car racing all week long and just support it and be part of it. So it's cool to be here again.
Well, it's great to have you be a part of sprint car racing. You know, we've talked a lot about what Tony Stewart has given back to the sport, and certainly want to salute you for everything that you've done. And we understand maybe some more in the works even for 2008, huh?
I don't know. I've had a lot of drivers actually talk to me over this week saying, hey, you know, I'm available and this and that. So as of right now, I mean, we have one team, and Joey's the driver, and he's going to drive for us again next year. But if we ever did 2 teams, I mean, it'd be a lot of fun. I really enjoy the Outlaw Series and being a part of it, and hopefully giving some good drivers some good equipment to drive.
Good to have you up here. You got to race the other night behind the wheel of a sprint car at the Brad Doty Classic. Let's check out a little bit of that action. We understand you timed in really well, then missed the transfer, but you put it on him in the B main. Tell us what you're doing here.
Yeah, right here I'm racing with Dale Blaney for the lead of the B main, and you know, same car as Joey drives pretty much, all the same stuff, and the car was good. I had a lot of fun, qualified really well, and won the B, started 12th in the A main, and ended up 11th.
We were glad to have you there, and the car was maneuverable. What I want to know is, banging on that berm and that cushion, did your neck get a little sore? Did you get tired at all after not being in a sprint car for a while?
I'll tell you, it's definitely different than a stock car, so I had to put a little bit extra padding in on my head, and you know, just to hold it up a little bit and make sure it didn't get tired after 40 laps. But I ended up good. I felt good at the end of the race for sure.
You sure looked good.
Yeah, we heard from a lot of people said you were impressive, like you didn't skip a beat. Let's take a look at the grid now for our Crane Cams Dash. Here's the way it will start. Craig Delansky and Stevie Smith up on row number 1. It'll be Donnie Schatz and Darren Pittman in row 2. Tim Shaffer and Jason Solwald in row number 3 will be on board with Solwald. Jason Sides and Steve Kinzer, the king, in row number 4. Paul McMahon and Ed Lynch Jr. Ed Lynch Jr. is the king of the local knowledge here. Brad, you've watched Ed Lynch Jr. race for quite some time, and he gets around this place as good as anybody.
Another second-generation driver, and he has a lot of laps here, most wins here, and did win this race in the past. He definitely can be a contender.
The R19, you're on board with Jason Solwald as he works around this speedway in anticipation of a green flag. The way they finish in this dash will determine the first 5 rows for tonight's starting grid in our feature event, the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. We're green, and Craig Delansky jumps out into the lead, but look at Schatz, Kasey, getting that drive off of turn number 2.
He's been good on the bottom all night down there. Look at Pittman shoot in there. Has a pretty good pass there by Darren Pittman.
Darren Pittman in the 21 car running in the number 2 position. There's Schatz right on him again, Brad.
Almost made contact, but Schatz did a nice job. He let the car drift up and didn't make contact with the back bumper. This is my favorite shot on board. That's putting you in the seat, folks.
Jason Solwald working hard in the R19 car. Jason Solwald's been one of those young drivers who's been pretty impressive out here so far, Kasey.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's out from Washington also, and right there, Schatz got around Pittman for second. So he's came a long way tonight. Didn't qualify very well, and now he's up to second in the dash.
Well, it only takes not very long at all to get around this racetrack. We're already working on lap number 4 here of 6 in our Crane Cams Dash. Out in front, it's Craig Delansky right now with Donnie Schatz running in second. The winner sits on the pole.
Well, Kasey, you brought up Schatz. He qualified so poorly. Had he not gotten this dash, he'd have been marked way back in the A main. Now he may be on the front row.
Yeah, that was his only hope, was to get in the top 2 in his heat, and he did that, and now he's looking for a great start spot.
About a half a lap to go right now for the crowd pleaser Craig Delansky in front. Stevie Smith trying to track down Jason Solwald, but off of turn number 4, it will be Delansky who gets to the checkered flag first. Donnie Schatz finishes second, then Pittman, Solwald, and Stevie Smith next in line. Outside of row number 3, it'll be Steve Kinzer who finishes 6th in the 11 car. Then it was Shaffer, Sides, McMahon, and Ed Lynch Jr. So just like that, the first 5 rows for tonight's feature event have been set, and your guy's not in there, so he's going to have some work to do a little bit later on tonight, huh, Kasey?
Yeah, he qualified good and missed it out of the heat. Just started 3rd in the first heat. That's a tough spot when the track's still really fast, and finished 3rd, didn't make the dash, so he'll probably come from about 11th or 12th, I'd imagine.
And I'm sure he'll get some passing done. Great to have you up here, Kasey. We appreciate you stopping by.
All right, thanks a lot for having me, guys.
It's a pleasure. So we'll come back with more from Lernerville, the packed house here, getting ready to witness a lot more racing here tonight. We've learned that Lernerville sprint cars go extra fast. The World of Outlaws, powered by Q-Works, coming right back.
This is racing.
Welcome back to Lernerville Speedway for the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup in the Super Clean Summer of Money on ESPN. Of course, we've been showing you some great racing, and coming up next Sunday at noon Eastern Time, we will be at KC Raceway, Jim Neer's KC Raceway in Chillicothe, Ohio, a track you know well, Brad.
Absolutely. Ran down there in my earlier years.
That's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure and tune in to that one. The winner of the Crane Cams Dash is the crowd pleaser, and he's with Sean Buckley.
It is his 4th Crane Cams Dash victory of the season, the crowd pleaser, Craig Delansky. Craig, fantastic run out there. You won the the inaugural Woo Gum Out Series race here. Is tonight your night?
I sure hope so. I tell you what, we've had some good runs here. We've been close in the Silver Cup. I think we've maybe run 3rd or 4th a couple times, but and then we won that inaugural show here. It's definitely a great racetrack here, one of the funnest we can hit on the tour, and we got a good car right now. We got qualified tonight and put ourselves in a position to win this race. So we're going to try to keep up the racetrack, and it'd be great to get in victory lane tonight.
You were fast last week at the Kings Royal. What's changed?
Well, I tell you what, I think we've definitely found some things in our motor program that's getting us, qualified. We just hadn't been getting qualified, and it just kills you in this deal. So, we're gaining on that, and we were fast in the Kings Row. We got the car bent up there in the feature the other night, but you know what? That's behind us now, and we're going to be focused on this. And, the Silver Cup's one of the crown jewels here, so hopefully we can get it.
All right, the crowd pleaser, Craig Delansky, starting on the pole here in the Don Martin Silver Cup.
And Sean, I'm sure that Craig would like nothing more than to add his name to the list of past winners of the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. You look at drivers, this is just in Outlaws competition here at Lernerville Speedway. Steve Kinzer, 16 wins, top of the list. But among the regulars touring with the Outlaws, Schatz and Tim Shaffer are the only 2 regular Outlaws that have wins here, Brad.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. I mean, Steve's been coming here a long time, but 16 wins and only runs here a couple of times a year. That's incredible.
Well, Tim Shaffer in April 2006 suffered a serious injury in a wicked Knoxville Raceway crash, but he has battled back in 07 to be a contender once again. Despite the injury, Tim Shaffer never lost his confidence.
Well, it's something I always wanted to do since I was a little kid, and to get the championship at home and give you confidence, get out on the road and see what you can do. But I tell you, once you get out there, it's very tough, and it takes time and it takes a team effort. And over the years, you have up and downs, and just keep plugging at it, and little by little, you get better and better at it.
Shaffer knows all about plugging away. Though he captured the track championship here at Lernerville in 1993, the Silver Cup eluded him for years.
But in 2005, Shaffer finally got his cup, a victory which tasted especially sweet after nearly 2 decades of trying.
You want it so bad, you got your fans and your family there, and you know, they get that thing off my shoulders there 2 years ago. It was awesome. I think going back, you got more confidence because you already won it, but you know, you want to win more and more.
Because of his neck injury, Shaffer was unable to defend in the Silver Cup last year, where Donnie Schatz ran down Ed Lynch Jr. for the victory. But now he's back, and there's no place he'd rather be.
This thing, you got to come out and run hammer down all the time. This is what we do for a living, and I've been doing it 20-some years now. There's nothing else I love much as this.
Well, Tim Shaffer, certainly one of the good guys out there in the pits. He definitely is well liked. Shaffer has himself a spot in tonight's 40-lap feature event, but there are several World of Outlaws powered by Q drivers still looking to get in. We'll see how they fare in the last chance showdown. That is coming up when we return to Lernerville. Welcome back to Lernerville, the super clean summer of money, getting set now for our last chance showdown. Here's the grid. Sam Haferteep Jr. and Alan Crimes on the front row, Justin Henderson and Bob Felmley in row number 2. What looks interesting to you there, Brad?
Well, row number 3, Jack Hodenshield and also Jeremy Campbell and Randy Hannigan. Some outlaws in this field that don't want to burn any provisionals. They want to race their way up into the top 4.
So getting set for a start in our last chance showdown. Sam Haferteep Jr. back from adversity in his heat race alongside Alan Crimes up there on the front row. Jack Hodenshield going to the top of the racetrack in the 35 car. Coming out of the back chute in 4th position behind Justin Henderson.
That is a transfer spot. The top 4 do go on to the A main.
Haferteep, your leader down the front straightaway. Followed by Crimes, Henderson, and Hodenshield. Starting to sort out here now a little bit, and the track looks like you can still go high, low, just about anywhere you want to, Brad.
But it is starting to get a little slick. You see Hodenshield running the cushion from the guys that right there, that black strip down the front straightaway. That shine you see there, and then also off of turn 2 on the high side. Right there again, you see that black strip starting to get a little slick up there on top.
Justin Henderson getting off the bottom in turn number 2. Now Hodenshield underneath Crimes. Hodenshield trying to pick up what we call a safety position there by getting into 3rd, because 4th is the bump spot.
Yeah, you won't be running around in 4th, and anything can happen, you know, and have some trouble and get bumped out of that top 4, so you want to get that insurance spot. But sprint car drivers, they seem to always charge to the front, no matter if there's a car in front, they just want to pass it.
Mike Lutz closing in on Alan Crimes right now for that final transfer spot as Henderson goes around the outside. Tried to go around the outside of Sam Haferteep Jr., but Haferteep almost held him off. Now I think Justin may have it.
Haferteep back, nope, just can't get him on the inside. Justin on the outside gets 5 clean.
Justin Henderson, who grew up at Huset's Speedway, a former co-track champion there at that Speedway, now out here full-time with the World of Outlaws. And there's the wild child, Jack Hodenshield, sweeping around Haferteep as well in the 35 car.
Goes right to the bottom. That's a move there. He's running around the top, right down across the bottom. He's trying that, and got a good drive off of turn 2.
If you're a young driver like Haferteep, how hard is it, Brad, right now to maintain your focus? You've been passed already by a couple of cars. You definitely don't want to fall out of the top 4.
Yeah, he knows that. He's slipping back a little bit, but he's going to have to really try not to miss the line. When I say by that, there's some moisture around the bottom of turn 2. It looks like now everybody's kind of going to the bottom of 1 and 2. Maybe that top is slipped off, so as Haferteep was talking about, he wants to make sure he doesn't too much wheel spin off the corner.
Danny Smith running 6th right now in the white number 4 car, closing in on Crimes, who is in the 5th position. Both of those cars on the outside looking in. There is your leader, Justin Henderson, in the D1. Justin driving a car tuned by his father, Rod.
Using every bit of the racetrack there as he went around the cushion in 1 and 2. Same thing, runs around the top. He's coming up on a lap car. On the bottom of the racetrack, he's got the right up on that cushion.
Henderson looking strong right now over Hodenshield, Haferteep, and then the battle for the final transfer spot starting to heat up now. That's Mike Lutz in the 15 car up on the high side. Oh, he almost ran it right off the racetrack, and here comes Alan Crimes in the 87. Crimes working underneath Mike Lutz, and Alan Crimes at the white flag takes away that transfer spot, the final spot. Danny Smith trying to get into the mix.
All over the racetrack. See if he can get underneath him and get into turn 3.
He's able to get underneath Lutz, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to Alan Crimes. No, Crimes will get the 4th transfer spot as Smith and Lutz almost have some contact there. Maybe they did have a little contact coming to the checkered flag. So Justin Henderson, the winner of our last chance showdown, he will move on to the feature event. The A main field is set. The feature event will start 28 drivers tonight, if you can believe that. It's all coming up when we come back on the Super Clean Summer of Money.
November, for the first time ever, the World of Outlaws superstars will align. The greatest shows on dirt will collide, and you will be part of history. It's the inaugural World of Outlaws World Finals. Sprint cars' brightest stars and super late models' most celebrated names will come together in Charlotte. 3-day reserve seats are on sale now at the Speedway box office. Charge by phone or get them online. The World of Outlaws World Finals, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the dirt track at Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte.
It is feature event time for the World of Outlaws, powered by Q. Super Clean Summer of Money. Tonight, the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup pays $30,000 to win. And the race fans are getting anxious for this one, and so are the drivers out there. Everybody wants to take this one home. Of course, making it official is Johnny Gibson, who travels to each and every one of the World of Outlaws races. He is the World of Outlaws announcer, and this is what he says.
Lernerville Speedway, you one of the best. You got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Fireworks going off on the back straightaway. Fans up on their feet. This is one of the big ones, Brad. Everyone's been looking forward to this one for a long time here in Western Pennsylvania.
Now, they sure are. And I'll tell you what, when those fireworks go off, if they don't tell you as a driver they're going to have those, you're so focused on racing, those things, you can hear them, and it kind of scares you a little bit sometimes.
Let's take a look at the grid. Craig Delansky on the pole alongside Donnie Schatz. Schatz is going to be tough from outside the front row. Darren Pittman and Jason Sowald in row 2. Stevie Smith and the King, Steve Kinzer in row 3. You check out the rest of the grid and talk a little bit about number 2B, Dale Blaney. His dad, Lou Blaney, a lot of laps around here, really one of the legends of this racetrack.
Yes, alongside Joey Saldana, a lot of second-generation drivers, and I raced with Lou Blaney. I never had a chance to race against Joe Saldana, but did run some laps here with Lou Blaney when I started over in Western Pennsylvania.
And of course, Joey is our Super Clean Summer of Money points leader, but he's starting behind the dash cars tonight. Did not make the dash. He's got some work to do.
Yes, he does. He's a long way to go there. And again, just could have gotten that dash. He'd have had a better starting position. See with our onboard camera if he can make his way up through there.
Well, one of the wild things about this race tonight, 28 starters with provisionals. That yellow number 9 car is one of the good ones here. He's the defending track champion. Kevin Shaffer also leads the points right now, currently at Lernerville Speedway. Let's go down to the pits and Sean Buckley for a final thought. Sean, what do you got?
Well, Jason Myers, remember, he flipped last night during qualifications, and they had thoughts of bringing out another race car. Well, they spent all night, DJ Lindsey, Brian, and the rest of the crew put that car back together, and he rolls off inside row 11, guys.
So Jason Myers coming from deep in the field. It is Craig Delansky in the Caravan number 7 on the pole, alongside Donnie Schatz in the Parker Store number 15. We're going 40 laps for $30,000. Hold on to your wigs, race fans. The green is in the air. We're racing at the Silver Cup and into turn number 1. It's a battle, and Delansky's going to lead him down the back chute.
Again, getting off of turn 2 on the high side, got some good traction to take the lead.
Delansky, right rear up on the cushion. Donnie Schatz follows him through. Then there's Darren Pittman running in the 3rd spot. Jason Sowald at the end of lap number 1 runs 4th. And you're on board with Jason Sowald in the R19 car headed down the back straightaway. What a great shot that is.
Boy, and you can tell by the way that front wheels really turned. He was sliding sideways up across the racetrack.
Sowald trying to hold back Stevie Smith. Smith dives down low in turn number 1. Slides across the groove, and Stevie Smith giving a little local knowledge right there to Sowald.
That is a slide job. Slid right up. Thought he was going to clip Sowald's front bumper, but cleared him, and now you see Sowald again. Look at that left front turn. That car looks loose to me right now.
Stevie Smith and Steve Kinzer battling, and Kinzer cuts down on the number 19 car, stays in front of him.
Oh, and Stevie Smith off the back straightaway there. You see it there?
Boy, it's a no man's land, too. If you get off the back straightaway here at this racetrack, you're in deep trouble, Brad.
That is a long way down that bank, off that back straightaway. We have seen cars flip down through there. Stevie gathered back up and lost a lot of positions.
With 28 cars, they are going to be in traffic in a big-time hurry. You can see Delansky with Schatz in tow. They are coming up on traffic in probably about a half lap. They're going to be on the tail enders.
Well, 28 cars on a 4/10 mile. You're right. It doesn't take long to get to the back markers.
You remember last week to the King's Royal where it was Craig Delansky out in front with Donnie Schatz, had him in his viewfinder, and it didn't take long for Schatz to pounce. This time, Darren Pittman is also in the mix. Pittman to the outside of Schatz trying to track him down as there's trouble for one of the cars on the back straightaway. He was slowing. It was the number 10 car of Carl Bowser. Not a factor. He keeps it going. So Pittman chasing after Donnie Schatz as Delansky has the lead.
And you can see the two grooves right there. It's pretty slick and black around the top, so they've got to keep that right rear leaning on the berm. Now look at this. Schatz to the inside.
Donnie Schatz to the inside, and Craig Delansky takes the lead. And now here comes rush hour traffic in front of these guys. Delansky trying to fight back on the high side of the racetrack, but Brad Doty, you said the key to winning here at Lernerville was getting off of turn number 2 down on the bottom, and that's what Donnie Schatz is doing right now.
Well, you know, Donnie Schatz and that team, it seems like the longer the race goes on, the faster and better that car gets. And it's just very good control that the rear tire is not getting a lot of wheel spin as it just pulls away now.
They've already put Terry McCarl down a lap. It's Schatz working traffic right now with Craig Delansky running second. Darren Pittman is in the 3rd spot. Jason Sides having a great run right now, runs 4th, and Jason Solwald is in position number 5. Schatz just about to split cars. Now it's Jason Solwald you're on board with in the R19.
And you just feel the throttle here. You can hear him working the throttle. A lot of wheel spin. You see that shiny part of the racetrack. Listen here. Here he's feathering the gas pedal as he comes off the corner, trying to get traction with the rear tires.
Drag racers would call that pedaling, right?
Yep, pedaling that thing, trying to keep the... And a lot of times they'll actually use the brake pedal, too, to try to ride the brake and power brake the car to try to minimize the wheel spin.
Solwald right now working in the position number 5 as you're in traffic with the leader, Donnie Schatz. Schatz about a half a second in front of Darren Pittman, who has now moved into the 2nd position in the 21 car. Pittman's having a good run. This is about the size racetrack where he seems to shine the best.
He does like these intermediate tracks here, 3/8, 4/10 miles.
Yeah, a little bigger than a quarter, not quite as big as a half, and that's where Darren Pittman does his best work. The tight garage is number 21 going after the 15 car.
Interesting, he goes to the bottom. He had been running the top, and I was, look at that. Slipped there right there, and Delansky closed up on him, but I was getting ready to say he was catching shots, but the key would be when they get to traffic, Schatz car pretty maneuverable all over the racetrack. Darren had been running the top of the racetrack. Maybe he's stuck up there. Yeah, he's back up there again now.
And Donnie Schatz in traffic trying to work a couple of different grooves as Pittman chases after him. You see the differential. The yellow 15 is Donnie Schatz, the leader of the race. The black number 21 is Darren Pittman.
And you brought it up. Schatz moving around a little bit, trying different grooves. That's the key to winning these races. You've got to have your race car where you can move all over the racetrack past the lap cars.
Jason Solwald in the R19 car working in 5th. Steve Kinzer runs 6th in the green Quaker State number 11. The Q Oil number 11. Back on board with Jason Solwald.
Again, you can hear him running the throttle. Back to the leader, Schatz.
Schatz trying to work traffic. Puts Justin Henderson down a lap. Now closing up on the Hurricane, Randy Hannigan.
Look at him trying to run the middle of the racetrack. Coming off there, he had to because the 1 car, but actually getting into the corners, trying to run the bottom. Now he's on the bottom of 3 and 4 there.
And now Darren Pittman has a clear view of Donnie Schatz for one of the few times in this race. Delansky still right there in the 7 car. Schatz dangerously high there the last time around. And here comes Kinzer after Jason Sides. It's a battle for 4th. Sides running 4th in the 7S. Kinzer splitting the middle in the number 11 car.
Looked like Kinzer was stuck back there in 6 for a while, not going anywhere. And maybe the setup's coming to him now. Starting to close in maybe on Jason Sides.
Steve Kinzer, nobody has won more World of Outlaws feature events at this racetrack than Steve Kinzer. They've been racing World of Outlaws style here since 1979. Kinzer around the outside of Jason Sides. Now Sides trying to battle back, but he gets stuck behind a jam car.
Look at the different grooves. You can see the brown dirt. Still some, not really moisture, but they can get some traction. But when you see the shiny part, that's where they really have to be careful and not get a lot of wheel spin.
Donnie Schatz closing up on Jason Myers. You did get a quick glimpse of Tim Shaffer, who is running now in the 6th position. And there is Donnie Schatz, your leader, Darren Pittman, working in 2nd, the black 21. Craig Delansky still 3rd. Steve Kinzer running 4th. Pittman is within striking distance. He definitely has not let Schatz get away at all.
Absolutely. He knows if something happens to Schatz, maybe he can capitalize.
Battle for fifth between Sides and Tim Shaffer. Shaffer, the Steel City Outlaw in that red number 6 car.
Goes to the bottom of 1 and 2, trying to stay right there tight.
Boy, it looks like it's getting a little more slippery out there right now.
It really is. And that's, look at this, Schatz really in traffic now.
Schatz again working the middle of the racetrack. How can his car work that well? Is that just throttle control that Donnie Schatz possesses, or is it a combination of great car and throttle control?
Absolutely. The combination, because he's backpedaling. We heard Sides, or Solo rather, doing that. You can hear him on the front. Schatz is very good at that. They've got a good setup for a slick racetrack. Sometimes they run a little bit bigger left rear tire than some of these guys do. It allows him to roll the middle of the racetrack.
The World of Outlaws visited this racetrack once earlier this year, and Steve Kinzer dominated, led every lap of that event. Right now, the Big Q running in 4th in that green-silver, number 11. Back up front, it is Donnie Schatz. His advantage just about 1 second over Darren Pittman as the laps continue to wind away. We've only got about 12 laps to go in this one, Brad. So far, it's been clean and green.
Right there, I bet he's a little bit nervous because that car had a lot of wheel spin. You could see him sliding up the banking. The track is getting slicker. And where it's not black, some of that powdery dirt is laying on there. And boy, you can get a lot of wheel spin there.
Battle for second position. It's the 21 of Darren Pittman, still with a pretty sizable advantage. But here comes Delansky with a great run on the top in the red number 7 car.
When you're running the bottom like Pittman there, that's, again, when he comes off that corner, he can't match the throttle. He just light the tires up. He's trying to ease on the throttle, but Delansky on the top, leaning on that cushion. Now he can get back in the throttle about right there where Pittman has to wait on him.
Craig Delansky goes around. Darren Pittman moves into the runner-up spot. Now Pittman's turn to go to the top of the racetrack. And Pittman's going to take it right back. Good stuff right now in the battle for second between Pittman and the crowd pleaser. That was close.
That was close because they both chose his top. I think Pittman anticipated Delansky going to the bottom. He was going to try to whistle around him on the top, and Delansky turned and went to the top, and he about made contact.
More deep traffic for Donnie Schatz, putting Jack Hodenshield down a lap. Now going after Stevie Smith. Boy, Smith really got himself upset when he went off the racetrack, and that could mess up your whole event.
Yes, he was running pretty good at that point, slid off the back straightaway and lost a lot of ground. When you're back there mired in traffic like that, lets the leaders catch up to you and you see what happens.
Well, it's starting to become a repeat of the King's Royal. It's Schatz in a runaway right now. He's 3.3 seconds up, and now just about ready to put former World of Outlaws champion Danny Lasowski down a lap in the 83 car. Chad Kimenol lying right in front of him there in the 8K.
Follows him into 3 and 4. See if they can split them coming off the 4. Nope, not quite yet.
6 laps to go for your leader, Donnie Schatz.
Now you can see the lap cars right, got away from him again as a driver. Schatz now might get by Kimenol, but that had to make him a little bit nervous there.
You've talked about it so many times, there's no radio communication, so he has no idea where second place is running. He might breathe a little easier if he knew he was 3.5 seconds up, but he has no idea that he's 3.5 seconds up.
Sometimes the fans will watch a driver, maybe they get into a lap car, they get into trouble, and people say, man, he was so dominant. Why didn't he just take it easy? Because he doesn't know where he's at for sure, how far ahead he is.
Well, he has lapped up to 15th place. Lasowski is running in the 15th position right now. This is still a pretty big traffic jam, though, for Schatz. He's not been able to maneuver past this group of cars that's lying right in front of him right now.
That's because they're 2 and 3 wide, and again, that really has to make you nervous. He said, man, I've got to get by these guys.
We'll see what the interval is this time by as Schatz comes across the stripe with only 2 laps to go, and that leads still 3.3 seconds right now for Schatz. There you look back to Craig Delansky running second in the red number 7 car. Schatz continuing to just master this tough series right now. I mean, this guy is on one whale of a roll. The white flag is out one more time around for Donnie Schatz.
What a season he is having.
Unbelievable. 10 wins. Working on win number 11 as he brings it off to turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Put another 30 grand to go on top of the 50 grand that he won at the King's Royal. It's all about Donnie Schatz in the World of Outlaws series right now.
Not a bad payday for the last 7 or 8 days here.
Wow, Schatz wins by 3.77 seconds over Craig Delansky in number 7. Darren Pittman comes home 3rd. Steve Kinzer 4th. Tim Shaffer 5th. Then Sides, McMahon, DeWeese, Solwald, and Dale Blaney down through your top 10. Well, fans got their money's worth there tonight, and it didn't take long Donnie Schatz has done it again. We will hear from him when we return to Lernerville Speedway. Sean Buckley in the Accelerate Victory Lane. Swing, John Force trying to make a mid-season rally in the countdown to the championship. NHRA Shucks Auto Supply Nationals finals coverage tonight at 7 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Here tonight, all about Donnie Schatz, although he had to work for it. Craig Delansky was out in front early, and then Schatz tracked him down.
We could see the run. Delansky got off at turn 2 there, but as the race went on, the track got slicker. That's where that yellow car, the 15 car, really takes off. It seems like they can get traction and run anywhere on the racetrack.
You saw the brake rotor glowing there a little bit, but watch the drive off of turn number 2.
Again, we talked about that in the open. If you can get off of turn 2, especially late in the race, you can win races. He gets a good run, passes him out of turn 4.
And that was all she wrote. Donnie Schatz goes on to win this one. 40 laps non-stop.
Delansky tried to battle back on the outside, but again, look at that run off of turn 2 for Schatz. Pulled away from him.
And the reason I say 40 laps non-stop, maybe you just wouldn't expect that with a full field of 28 cars out there tonight. But Donnie Schatz definitely getting it done. The Accelerate Victory Lane. Donnie Schatz pulls in.
Starting to get figured out where to go in Victory Lane, isn't he? Making a habit of this.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the start of a little mini dynasty here right now for this team, as Donnie Schatz is on quite a roll. $80,000 in the last couple of weeks, $50,000 at the Kings Royal, and a solid $30,000 here. Here's Bill Klingbeil trying to hand Donnie some water. Everybody making sure they're taking care of their guys. He climbs out. Let's check out the full field results for this one. Donnie Schatz, the winner. Craig Delansky finishes second. Lance DeWeese is our hard charger tonight from 15th up to 8th. Central Pennsylvania ace doing a good job here in Western PA.
Yeah, Jason Zolwalder onboard camera, and he would admit, fell back a little bit. Gave us some good shots on the onboard, but not the finish that they were looking for.
The 11th through 20th. It was tough tonight. I mean, tough to move around in a 40-lap non-stopper. Nobody really falling out of the event, so there were a few drivers that were able to make some moves. Chad Kimmenaugh, 23rd to 16th. Danny Smith passed 7 cars there.
Just look at the list of drivers and the names in these main events anymore. And boy, just to make the main event is good for a lot of these teams.
And you see all the way down through 28th, Carl Bowser in the number 10 car. He's one of the first guys to drop out of the race. Well, Sean Buckley is in the Accelerate Victory Lane, and let's hear from Donnie Schatz, who's done it again.
And we're down here in the Accelerate Victory Lane with your main event winner, Donnie Schatz. Donnie, last week you won the $50,000 at the Kings Royal at Eldora Speedway. Tonight, the Don Martin Silver Cup, $30,000. Fantastic run.
It's been a good week, I guess, money-wise. I was quite surprised that race went from start to finish. You know, what can you say about this whole Parker Store Snap-on Tools team? I got to thank Rick Warner. He's been helping us out. My guys, Dave Lawrence, Shane Bowers, David Nisbet, and Dwayne Lawrence from Australia, who's here helping. These guys do an awesome job. This is an awesome car. Hopefully we can keep it winning.
What are you guys doing different than everybody else? You killed them last week. You dominated here tonight. What is it?
We're not really doing anything different. We're just don't really care what everybody else is doing. We're working on this car, and we do what it tells us. I mean, when it tells us we need to do this, we do it. When it tells us we need a different shock, we do it. And you know, it's just comes from great people. I mean, everybody, right from my parents, right on down the line, the guys that work on it. And like I said, we've had a lot of extra help from Rick, and got to thank those guys for that help. And these guys here just never give up on me. I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
It's your second Don Martin Memorial Cup, Silver Cup victory, and is the second win here on the ESPN Silver Money. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I'll tell you what, I didn't know if we was going to be able to get her done after the performance I did qualifying. I mean, that was all me. There was nothing wrong with the race car. I just running the wrong part of the racetrack, trying to do something silly, and I guess that's what kind of got us going. We got going in the heat, got up to second, got in that ever-important dash draw, and got to start on the front row of the feature. You can't ask for any better than that.
Guys, it's all Donnie Schatz here tonight.
Well, the talking number 15 tells Donnie Schatz, just take me to the winner's circle. He's the first to win back-to-back Silver Cups since Mark Kinzer's dominant run from 1996 to 1999. Mahindra Tractors, cultivate your dreams. And by Super Clean, not just clean, super clean. Back at Lernerville, and here is the pass for the lead. Donnie Schatz was able to get by Craig Delansky and go on to victory.
Again, got that good run off of turn 2, slides right up in front of Delansky out of turn 4, and takes the lead, never looked back.
And then check out the wild action on the last lap between Steve Kinzer and Darren Pittman in traffic.
Kinzer's got his wing pulled back there. Looks like Pittman has it in hand, gets a little wheel spin there. Kinzer able to, look at this, going into 3.
Looks like he's got him. This is a battle for third. Come to the checkered flag. Steve is bouncing off the wall, and Pittman just barely edges him. Let's go down to Sean Buckley, who's caught up with the rest of the podium finishers tonight.
And we're here with second and third place, Mr. Craig Delansky and Darren Pittman. But first, Craig, another good run for you. Just fell a little bit short once again.
Yeah, unfortunately, we definitely don't like coming home second there, but considering the last couple months that we've had here, I feel like we're definitely gaining on our program and got ourselves qualified tonight and put ourselves up in a position to win. But, the 15 car, Donnie's been doing a great job all year long. They've been strong all year long, and it seems like a lot of times they've done the races for second. But, we had a good race going on there with Darren for second, and it seemed like I found my race car there towards the latter part of the race and found a way where I could make more speed with it. But, you know what, again, it was a non-stop race, and the guys were running good.
All right, Craig Delansky finishing second here. Now I'm going to slide over here and talk to Darren Pittman. Very close quarters over there. And turn 4, coming to the check there with Steve Kinzer. And barely finished third here tonight. You were tearing the top down over there, but you said you're not happy.
No, I mean, honestly, I should be, because we've been so bad the last 2 weeks that we made the show, and which is a bonus in the last 2 races. And, we ran good. And like Craig said, we just... unless we can spot the 15 car, 15, 20 positions in the back of the field, we're just racing for second. And at least we were close enough to feel like we had a shot at it. And me and Craig had a good race. And my car was good as long as I could hit my marks and do what I needed to. But I just couldn't maneuver around in traffic, and that's what killed us. And needed some more yellows, or any yellows. But all in all, good run for us, and gives us some momentum going into Williams Grove for sure.
Well, it looks like you guys would reel in some of the cars, and you'd fade back a little bit, and starting to reel them in again. How was the race car overall?
The car was really good. It was fast. I was really good probably the first 20, 25 laps, and then I had about 10 laps there that I really started struggling. I couldn't find where I needed to be on the racetrack in 1 and 2 at all, and Craig got by me, and then once he got by me, I kind of settled down and got back, to the top and stayed right with him, but had already given up position and almost gave up on the last lap to Steve, so glad it wasn't 31 laps, or 41 laps anyway, so car was good, and we're making headway a lot better in the last few weeks for sure.
It's good to see you back down here.
Thanks, good to be here.
All right, Darren Pittman finishing third here at Lernerville, guys.
And, Sean, we have a new leader in the super clean Summer of Money point standings.
Well, really no surprise. Donnie Schatz leading the World of Outlaws points. Now he's leading the Summer of Money points. The dominance that they've been showing, it's no surprise.
You see the rest of the lineup all the way down through the top 10. A couple of ties there. That's why you see graphically tied for third and tied for 8th. Next Sunday at noon, we go to Kasey Raceway, Chillicothe, Ohio. 9 o'clock out there on the West Coast, so make sure and mark your calendars for that one. That's going to be a good one. The next to last battle in the super clean Summer of Money. For Sean Buckley in the pits, for Brad Doty up here in the booth, and for our entire super clean Summer of Money staff, we hope that you have enjoyed the show. For more on the World of Outlaws, visit worldofoutlaws.com. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Congratulations once again to Donnie Schatz.